Hello, welcome. We are working on our anime character project. In the first couple videos I showed you how to create the full figure of a character. And in this video, I'm just going to show you how to create the bust, which is the shoulders and the head of the character. This is the character I'm going to be drawing. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to focus on the face here. The face, the hair, and where the shoulders would be. These are some of the materials that I'm using. I'm not sure if I'm going to use them all, but I have just a regular pencil, a fine tip Sharpie marker, and then a Sharpie pen, a white eraser, and this is a pencil eraser. You can get these items at Walmart or something equivalent to that. The eraser pencil, though, I got at Hobby Lobby. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to start with the face. And the face is kind of like an egg shape. And it kind of points like this. Draw a little bit darker so you can see. I'm going to leave a lot of space up here because I need a lot of room for hair. What I'm going to do now is set up my face. I'm going to draw a line right here down the center. And then I'm going to draw another curved line here in the middle this way. This sets up where I'm going to put all the facial features that we practiced last week. Now with the eyes, well, let me actually start with this headband. His headband is going to be about here, and it's a rectangle. So I'm going to, it's curved a little bit to fit the shape of his head. Like this. And it's going to come off the side a little bit. So there's the headband. I can erase this part. And here's the inside. This curve masks and mimics the other curve of the headband. All right. Now it's going to be a little bit easier for me to set up the rest of the face. So I'm going to set up the ears, and it looks like it's half of a heart. So it does not touch the headband. I see a little triangle for hair here. So I added a little triangle. And then I'm going to add the ear on this side of the face. Notice I'm dragging my pencil so I can see about how big the other ear should be so it matches. I'm going to erase this part. I'm actually going to move this line down. There we go. Now the mouth is halfway between the chin and this line here. Anime characters typically have a longer, wider mouth, but this character has just kind of a smirk. His nose is here. It's actually only 2 nostrils, and there is shading, which I will kind of work on later. And now the eyes, the top of the eye stops where the top of the ear stops. And this one is about the same. So his eyes are up here. And if you remember in the first video, they're kind of round here. Skip a little space, kind of comes up at an angle, and then curves. I'm going to do the same thing the other side. The hardest part with eyes are getting the two eyes to be the same size. Now this character, you can see all of his eye. So I'm going to draw a circle here and another one. And then he has a white spot and then a black spot. Then you can kind of see his eyebrows poking out from under his headband. Like so. And then over here I'm going to add the other sideburn, which comes down and then it makes a zigzag and then back up. I'm going to add the detail on the ear so it looks three-dimensional. And I'm going to do the same thing to the other side. I'm going to clean up some of my lines. The neck is connecting almost off the jaw here. Now I'm not going to see a lot of the neck because he has a high necked jacket on. Okay. Actually, these sideburns come down even further, like that. Gonna add some detail here on the headband. Then I'm gonna add his symbol. All right. He has whiskers on the side of his face, so I'm going to add those. And now I'm going to work on his hair. So this is where the top of his face would be, and I'm going to add the hair that comes over top of his headband first. Now these are just triangles. What's important is when you have a character to reference, you need to look and count how many spiky hairdo styles he has. I'm going to draw another arch over here to see how high my hair should stick out. So these are 3 spikes off the side. I'm going to add a couple on the other side. 1, 2. And then back here I'm going to add a couple more. 1, 2. And now these are going to start to come up. 3, 4, 'like so. He actually has some hair that comes out from behind his neck too. Then I can go and erase a lot of these lines. And use my smaller eraser to get some of the smaller detail. I'm also going to erase these lines in here because I don't need them anymore. Next is his clothing. So his clothing curves in like this. Right, actually it touches his chin. And it comes up like this. This curves around behind his neck. Then it comes straight down. And this part kind of curves in a little bit. This actually is kind of a wavy line like this. Same thing on this side. And then where each one of these curves out, I'm going to draw a line that comes down. And notice the texture that it gives. In the center here, he has a zipper. Just going to add a couple more detail here. And I'm going to curve this down. Just drawing some L shapes here. That mimics the texture on the top and the bottom. Then his shoulders. This character has his arms out, so I'm going to draw shoulders coming out a little bit like this. And that comes right off the bottom here. And this one does the same thing. With clothing, it's important to look at where all the wrinkles are in the fabric. And here's the headband. The back of it looks like he's tying it, so this is a triangle. And here's another triangle. And then this is where his hands would be. I'm just marking off the shape of where the hands look like they should be. I'm not going into a bunch of detail. It's very important when you're drawing to think about shapes of things. Okay, these are the shapes of the hands. Here is the fabric of the coat, and then on the other side. Now I can go in and add detail on the fingers. So here's the thumb, here's the palm, curving that, and now I'm going to add fingers. And they just kind of look like rectangles almost. 1, 2, 3, and 4. If you want to add the fingernails. And then on this hand, I'm going to do the same thing. So here's my thumb. There's the thumb right here. Here's the palm. And then my fingers, again, are just kind of like rectangles. 1, 2, 3, and 4. And this one connects because you can see the side of your finger here. And if you want to add your fingernails, okay. Here's the rest of the ribbon. This will pinch. And see the other side of it. Okay. Okay. Once you have your character drawn, then is the time where you want to go and clean up your lines, outline in Sharpie, all of that stuff, and then you can leave it in pencil, but I'd like you to shade it if it is in pencil, or you can add color with colored pencil or markers, or even paint if you want to. Okay, If you have any questions, feel free to go back and rewatch the video or email me.